Karen Baxter's laugh was a hyena's cackle, sharp enough to curdle milk. She leaned out her SUV window, yelling, "Move your mutt, cripple," at the veteran in the wheelchair, oblivious to the phone camera glinting across the street. The quiet suburban corner of Oak Ridge Lane had just become a battlefield, and Karen, with her peroxide blonde bob and a superiority complex thicker than her waistline, was about to light the fuse. Her sister, Darlene, equally stout and sporting a matching floral muumuu, egged her on from the passenger seat, both blissfully unaware that their reign as the neighborhood's self-appointed overlords was on borrowed time. The veteran, Marcus Tate, wasn't just any man. A retired Marine with a chest full of medals and a heart full of grit, he'd seen worse than the Baxter sisters' venom. His service dog, Bravo, a loyal German shepherd, had pulled him through PTSD nightmares and guided him through crowded streets for years. Now, Bravo lay motionless on the asphalt, his leash tangled under Karen's tire. Marcus's hands trembled on his wheelchair's rims, not from fear, but from a rage so raw it could have burned the pavement. The sisters had been terrorizing the neighborhood for months. Petty HOA fines, snide remarks, and now this. But they didn't know Marcus had a friend across the street, a quiet barista named Lila, who'd been filming their antics for weeks. It started with a simple misunderstanding, as most Karen sagas do. Marcus had parked his van in his driveway, a hair over the HOA's invisible aesthetic line. Karen, president of the Oak Ridge HOA, had slapped a $200 fine on his door before he'd even had his morning coffee. "Your rust bucket's an eyesore," her note read, scrawled in pink marker. Darlene, her dutiful sidekick, had giggled as they taped it up, their matching chunky necklaces clinking like war drums. Marcus ignored it. He'd fought in Fallujah. He wasn't scared of a couple of middle-aged busybodies. But when Bravo barked at Karen's yapping Pomeranian during their daily walk, the sisters took it personally. "That beast needs a muzzle," Darlene had shrieked, clutching her dog like it was a Faberge egg. Marcus apologized, but Karen's eyes gleamed with vindictive glee. She'd been waiting for an excuse. The real trouble brewed at the HOA meeting the next week. Karen, perched at the head of the community center's folding table like a budget dictator, declared Marcus's dog a public menace. Her evidence? A blurry photo of Bravo sniffing a mailbox. The room of neighbors shifted uncomfortably. Most liked Marcus, a man who'd mow your lawn if you were sick, no questions asked. But Karen's voice drowned out dissent, her manicured nails stabbing the air as she ranted. "We don't need strays lowering property values," she snapped, ignoring that Bravo was a certified service dog. Darlene nodded like a bobblehead, adding, "And his owner's no saint either." The vote to ban Bravo failed, but the sisters' grudge grew teeth. Lila, the barista, had been watching it all. She worked at the corner cafe, where Karen and Darlene held court daily, barking orders for skinny lattes they never finished. Lila, barely 20, with a nose ring and a knack for staying invisible, started recording their rants after they'd berated her coworker into tears. Her phone was always ready now, tucked in her apron or propped on a shelf. She'd caught Karen keying a neighbor's car over a tacky lawn gnome and Darlene tossing a kid's soccer ball into traffic for landing in their yard. Lila's videos were a digital dossier, shared quietly with a few trusted neighbors. When she saw Marcus and Bravo head out that fateful afternoon, she sensed trouble. Karen's SUV was already idling at the corner. The incident unfolded in seconds, but felt like hours. Marcus was crossing Oak Ridge Lane, Bravo's leash taut as the dog guided him toward the sidewalk. Karen's SUV screeched around the corner, her phone in one hand, a latte in the other. "Get out of my way," she bellowed, though Marcus was already on the curb. Bravo, startled, lunged forward, and Karen swerved too late. The sickening thud of tire on first stop time. Darlene gasped, then laughed nervously. "It's just a dog," she muttered. Marcus's roar of anguish cut through the air, raw and primal. Lila's camera caught it all. The impact, Karen's sneer, Darlene's smirk, and the glint of Marcus's dog tags as he wheeled toward Bravo's body. Karen didn't stop. She gunned the engine, shouting, "You shouldn't be out here anyway." as she sped off, leaving Marcus cradling Bravo's head. Lila, shaking, kept filming, her lens capturing the sister's license plate and the handwritten note she'd pinned to the lamppost earlier that day. She'd been planning to confront them at the next HOA meeting, but this was bigger. Bravo wasn't just a doe, was Marcus's lifeline. The neighborhood group chat exploded as Lila uploaded the footage. "Those witches ran over Bravo," one neighbor typed. "We've got proof," another replied. The sisters, oblivious, were already back at their McMansion, sipping wine and drafting another HOA complaint. The backlash was swift. Lila's video hit the local news by morning, shared by a neighbor who worked at the station. The headline screamed, "HOA tyrants run over veterans' service dog." Social media erupted, with hashtags like Justice for Bravo trending locally. Karen and Darlene, suddenly infamous, locked their doors as reporters camped outside. "It was an accident," Karen wailed to a news crew, her mascara streaking. Darlene, less composed, snapped, "That dog was a menace." The footage told a different story. Karen's reckless driving, her callous words, and the undeniable pain on Marcus's face. The sisters' reign of terror was unraveling, and they didn't even see it coming. Marcus, meanwhile, was broken but not defeated. At the vet, Bravo clung to life, his ribs fractured but his spirit stubborn. The community rallied, raising thousands for his surgery within hours. Lila visited Marcus, showing him the video and the outpouring of support. "They're done," she said quietly. Marcus nodded, his jaw tight. "I just want Bravo back." The police, armed with Lila's footage, charged the sisters with reckless endangerment and animal cruelty. The HOA board, pressured by the neighborhood, stripped Karen of her presidency. Darlene's Pomeranian was even banned from the dog park after it bit a child. Poetic justice, some whispered. The sisters' downfall was complete at the next town hall. Neighbors packed the room, their anger palpable. Karen tried to speak, her voice shrill, but booze drowned her out. Lila played the video on a projector, each frame a nail in the sisters' coffin. Marcus, in his wheelchair, Bravo's empty leash in his lap, stared them down. "You thought you owned this place," he said, his voice steady. "But you don't own us." The crowd roared. Karen and Darlene fled, their faces red, their empire in ashes. They moved away weeks later, their house sold at a loss. Nobody waved goodbye. Bravo recovered, limping but wagging his tail when he saw Marcus. The neighborhood threw a welcome home party, with Lila baking Bravo-shaped cookies. Marcus, usually stoic, let a tear slip as kids draped Bravo in a tiny hero's cape. The sisters' names became a cautionary tale, whispered when someone got too bossy. Lila kept her phone ready, just in case. The lamppost note, now faded, still hung as a quiet reminder. Karma sees everything. The lesson wasn't just about the sisters' cruelty or Bravo's survival. It was about community, how a quiet barista, a wounded veteran, and a loyal dog could topple tyrants. It was about standing up, even when your legs don't work, or your voice shakes, or your camera is grainy. It was about knowing that no one, not even a Karen, is above accountability. And somewhere, in the silence after the storm, Marcus scratched Bravo's ears and whispered, "We got him, boy." The end.